Okay, we're continuing our Liberal Arts 1, our MGF 1106. I'm on page 69 still. We're working problem number 5. Now here's what they're having us do. You know, on credit cards you have that security code. Well, the question is, how many ways can I select my codes if I have the following restrictions? So let's look first at Discover. First of all, it has to be 3 numbers. So 1, 2, first number, second number, third number. Okay. The first number cannot be a 0 or a 1. And it must end in a 0. All right, let's talk about this. The first number cannot be a 0 or a 1. Now let's think. How many digits do I have to choose from? Right, think it through. I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That is a total of 10 things. If you count 0 through 9, you have counted 10 digits. You with me? 1 through 9 would be 9, and then the 0 makes it 10. So in general, there would be 10 ways to fill this first slot. However, it says the first cannot be a 0 or a 1. So we don't have those choices. We can only use 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So there would be 8 ways to fill that first position. Okay. And it says, okay, so the first one has a restriction. It has to end in a 0. Well, to end in a 0, think about it. To end in a 0, there's only one way you can make that happen, and that's by picking the 0. Now think that through. If it has to end in a 0, and you have the numbers 0 through 9, which are, you have the digits 0 through 9, there are 10 of those, but only one of those would force it to end in a 0. So there's one way to make that happen, and of course that would be by picking a 0. You don't put a 0 there, you put how many ways could that happen there. There's one way. Do they give us any restrictions in the middle? First number can't be a 0, 1. There's 8 ways. The last number has to be a 0. There's one way. I can put 0 through 9 in the middle, so there's 10 ways. 8 times 10, there's 80 ways to do that first one. Now, a Visa card has 4 numbers and no repetition is allowed. So digit 1, digit 2, digit 3, digit 4. Okay. They just don't want repetitions allowed. So, how many ways can I fill the first slot? There are 10 ways, 0 through 9. There are 10 ways for that to happen. But once that's been picked and I'm not allowing repetitions, there's only 9 ways left here, there's only 8 ways left here, and then there would be 7 ways left there. So we pull our handy dandy calculator. 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 equals, what is it? 50/40. There we go. 50/40. All right, MasterCard. 4 numbers. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fundamental counting principles, our friend. Okay, the first number must be a 5. Well, there's only one way to make that happen, by picking a 5. The last number must be a 0. Well, there's only one way to make that happen. And no repetitions are allowed. Okay, we'll think that through. If I have a 5 here and I have a 0 here, those 2 numbers are no longer allowed to be chosen. So my group of 10, by putting a 5 here and by putting a 0 here, my group of 10 digits is already down to 8. You with me? These 2 can't be used. No repetitions in the middle. So I have 8 ways to do this one, which means I have what? 7 to do that one. Okay. I put a 5 here, there was one way. I put a 0 here, there was one way. I have now used up 2 numbers, or 2 digits rather, out of the 10 digits I could choose from. Well, that leaves me 8 for here, and once this is used up, since I'm not allowing repetitions, it leaves me 7 for here, and I get the answer 56. All right.